Hi, this is Bill, and this is going to be a review of a Turnigy1258 servo and comparison against the Savox1258. First, I'm just going to show you the tin can that the servo came in. I went ahead and installed the servo on my test bench here, and you'll get to see that in just a second. But it does come with this little package of servo horns of various assortment and sizes, and which is nice. The servo does come with a Futaba compatible spline on it, which is the same as the Savox, so there's a lot of similarities, more than just the actual number itself of the servo name. So just briefly looking at the specs between both servos, the Savox1258 TG has a street price of around $70 before shipping, and it does have a little bit faster speed on the specs, 0.8 seconds per 60-degree swing, and the torque on it is listed at 166 ounce-inches at 6 volts BEC. The Turnigy, of course, costs about half as much. It's a little bit slower at 0.1 seconds per 60 degrees, but it's advertising a little bit more torque than what the Savox is advertising at 6 volts. So what I've done is I went ahead and set up an experiment here with two speed controls here. They're both 6 volt BEC speed controls from their Hobbywing Easy Runs, and I've paired both systems up, binding them to a FlySky compatible radio with both receivers bound to the same radio. In addition to that, I've wired up both ESCs into a single source using a power analyzer and a battery pack that you see over here that's got a fresh charge on it. So a couple things that I want to do first is go ahead and check the ambient temperature of each servo. This one is registering 66 degrees, and the Savox is also registering at about 66 degrees. So let me go ahead. First, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Turnigy servo, or actually we'll do a speed test for both. No load speed test, and supposedly the Savox is going to be a little faster, so we'll see what happens here. And it looks to me that the advertised specs are just about right, where the Savox barely beats out the Turnigy ever so slightly with those specs. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and turn off the solar, or excuse me, the Turnigy, and I want to go ahead and get a reading here and see what the load is. See if that shows up there. And under load, it's showing that it's pulling at about 1 amp, 8 watts. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit there. So roughly one amp load. And what I've done here is this is actually a 6-pound weight that I have tethered on there, and it's not approximately, it's exactly 1 inch off the center of the servo. So 6 pounds with 1 inch comes out to about 96 ounces of torque. Now let's go ahead and now we had 1 amp on the Turnigy servo. Let's see what we draw on the Savox. The same weight. Now the Savox looks like it's pulling about 1.4 amps, so the Savox does not seem to be as efficient as the Turnigy. It seems to draw a little bit more power under load. It seems to have leveled out. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Turnigy servo, and we'll go ahead and put that under equal load. So a combined load is now showing 2.5 amps with both servos pulling. Now, under load, I'd like to see what happens And just as the specs are showing, the torque on the Turnigy is just a little bit higher. It spins it a little, lifts it a little bit faster. And then just to demonstrate that these weights are not actually touching each other, let's see if I can't lower my... show from another angle over here that they're not actually touching. So for the price, it appears to me that the Turnigy, at about half the price, is producing quite a bargain at torque and speed. Even though it's just a little bit slower than the Savox, it seems to be pretty comparable and a pretty good deal for what you get. Thanks. Oh, and one last thing, now that we've run this test for a little bit, is I do want to check and see what the temperatures are coming out to, now that we've kind of put these under load. Let's see what we've got here. So the Turnigy is about 78 degrees and the Savox is about 90, almost 100 degrees and counting, 102 degrees. 102 and 78. So it looks to me like the Savox is just overtasking, and then it's getting really hot, where the Turnigy is running much cooler. Yeah, I could definitely feel it to the touch. So if you want a cooler, more efficient servo, Turnigy is probably going to be the way to go. Savox seems to be less efficient and heats up much quicker. Thanks for watching.